Title: A Midnight Betrayal and a Clever Trap *. My wife covertly installed an application on my phone at midnight to access my financial details. She used this to siphon $400,000 and embarked on a lavish getaway with her lover. When she returned, she taunted me, saying, "Thanks to your phone, I had a blast spending your $400,000. I couldn't suppress my amusement because the account she accessed was, in fact, Chapter 1. Shadows in the Night ***. It was precisely 2:17 a.m. when I sensed the bed shift subtly. My wife of 6 years, Lara, slipped out from the sheets like a ghost. I watched through barely open eyes, feigning sleep, a skill I'd honed in Afghanistan where staying still could mean survival. I heard her tiptoe to the hallway, then descend to the living room. Intrigued, I waited 10 minutes before following. There she was, seated on the sofa, her silhouette bathed in the faint glow of my * phone's screen, not hers. I recognized the chipped edge of the case. She'd unlocked it somehow, perhaps while I slept, or earlier. She was downloading an app, one with a vague name that blended into the sea of icons. Her fingers danced across the screen with practiced ease. When a floorboard groaned under my step, she spun around. "You startled me," she said, forcing a smile. "What are you doing with my phone?" I asked, keeping my tone steady. "Just browsing. I wanted to see the photos from our dinner." "Yours are clearer than mine," she replied, her voice too smooth. I nodded. "Bring it upstairs when you're done." I turned away without waiting for her response. She thought I bought her excuse, but what she didn't know was this. That afternoon, my cybersecurity service had flagged an unauthorized attempt to access my decoy banking system, a fake setup I'd created months earlier. I'd suspected someone was prying, and now I knew it was Lara. She'd crossed a line, unaware she'd stepped into my carefully laid trap. Chapter 2. The Vanishing Act *. 3 days later, Lara disappeared. Not abducted, not lost, just gone. I returned from the gym on a quiet Friday evening to a house cloaked in silence. Her wardrobe, half empty, her bathroom shelf, bare, her jewelry box, stripped. On the kitchen counter sat a scrawled note, "Don't try to reach me. I'm moving on. You'll survive. I'm choosing joy. Farewell." Taped to it was a bank statement showing a $400,000 transfer from what she believed was my primary account, accessed through her midnight app. My pulse stayed steady. My hands didn't shake. I didn't swear. Instead, I walked to my office, logged into my secure system, and checked my real accounts. Untouched. You see, I'm not the kind of man you can rob without repercussions. Lara had accessed a counterfeit banking portal I'd designed to mimic my real Chase interface. Same design, same alerts, same everything. But it was a mirage running on a local server, a decoy. She'd stolen $400,000 in cryptocurrency from a wallet I'd fabricated for this scheme. Where was the real money? Months ago, I'd quietly, legally moved our savings into a trust under my name alone. Lara didn't notice, too distracted by her affair to monitor our actual finances. I had evidence, every transaction, every step. I checked the logs from my decoy wallet. They showed activity from Ibiza. The irony. I'd named the wallet Dream Stash as a jest. I shut my laptop, stepped onto the porch, lit a cigar, and gazed at the fading horizon. She thought she'd pulled off a master heist. She had no idea I'd scripted the entire play. Chapter 3. Her triumphant return and my quiet grin. It was a Tuesday morning when the garage door rumbled open, followed by the sharp clack of heels on tile. Lara was back. I didn't rush to meet her. I stayed at the dining table, sipping coffee, dressed in a sharp navy suit, jazz humming softly from the speakers. She sauntered in, glowing from sun-soaked beaches, hair styled flawlessly, designer shades perched on her head. Confidence radiated from her, laced with the scent of expensive perfume. Behind her, 2 Gucci suitcases rolled across the floor. "Well, look who's here," she purred, smirking. "Miss me?" I sipped my coffee, feigning mild surprise. "You're back," she laughed, tossing her bag onto the couch and brandishing a small USB drive like a prize. "I thought you'd put up a fight, but no, you let me take what I wanted. Thanks to your phone, that $400,000 made Europe unforgettable." She sank into a chair, grinning. "Hope you don't mind me dipping into your little nest egg while you moped." I looked at her, paused, then chuckled. "What's so funny?" she demanded, eyes narrowing. I slid my laptop toward her, turned the screen, and pressed play. There it was, footage, her kissing her lover at the airport, her accessing the banking app at midnight, the fake transfer confirmation, her signing into a luxury hotel in Ibiza. I clicked again. A legal document appeared, stamped with case number 48-5A7-9B, filed under seal, time-stamped, and notarized. Her eyes widened. "What is this?" I stood, composed. That's the end of your little game, she scoffed. You're bluffing, you can't prove anything. I raised an eyebrow. That USB in your bag, I mirrored it last night. It's packed with metadata, locations, timestamps, even an unencrypted key you left in my server logs. Her face drained of color. And your phone, it didn't just access my account. It logged every tap, every swipe, every move, all admissible. But the money, it's gone. We spent it, she stammered. I leaned in slightly. You, not me. Chapter 4. The lover, the fallout, and the cornered wife. The doorbell chimed. Lara flinched. I didn't. I opened the door to reveal a man in a tailored gray suit, mid-30s, face unreadable. Detective Ethan Cole, Financial Crimes Unit, he said. May we step in? Behind him stood another officer holding a tablet and a folder. Lara's jaw dropped. You called the police? I smiled faintly. Not exactly. Detective Cole is here to verify something about your little escapade. Cole sat across from her, opening the folder. Miss Lara Hensley, we have records tying your passport, phone, IP, and this man's account to high-value transactions across Spain, France, and Italy, luxury hotels, jewelry, club tabs. Do you deny traveling with a man named Victor Klein? Lara's eyes darted to me, horrified. You gave them everything, I shrugged. Didn't need to, Victor did. I slid my phone across the table, showing a photo of Victor in cuffs, led from a high-end condo in LA that morning. Victor wasn't just your fling, I said. He's a known con artist under investigation for 3 other fraud cases. He used you to launder stolen funds through your lavish trip. Cole nodded. We arrested him this morning. He's been very cooperative, sharing texts, videos, even boasting about you setting up the transfers. Lara's breathing quickened. I didn't know. He said you were hiding money from me. Oh, I was, I said, sipping my coffee. But not for the reasons you think. I walked to the wall safe, entered the code, and pulled out a thick folder stamped in silver. I dropped it before her. Divorce papers filed with full evidence of fraud. Oh, and that $400,000, it was fake. A dummy account with false routing numbers. You stole nothing. Her face crumpled. But the hotels, the flights, prepaid, I said. On a burner card I canceled when you landed. Cole interjected. She'll still face charges for intent to defraud and aiding a known criminal. You ruined me, Lara whispered, voice breaking. I met her gaze, voice steady. No, Lara, you ruined yourself. I just held up a mirror. Chapter 5. Collapse in real time 2 days after Detective Cole left with a shaken Lara, now out on bail and holed up in a cheap motel. I poured myself a whiskey and opened my laptop. It was time to pull the final lever. Lara mocked me for being too predictable, too honest, too trusting. She never realized I was also meticulous and well-connected. Weeks before her move, I'd hired a cybersecurity expert to monitor my devices. When I detected her app installation, I built a fake banking interface, complete with mock balances, login prompts, and traps. Everything she saw was my design. Now I uploaded a curated video to a private Vimeo link. It started with home security footage of Lara sneaking into my office at midnight, followed by screenshots of the fake account, photos of her and Victor in Paris, time-stamped and geolocated, and audio from Victor's confession. Lara was the easiest target I ever had, thought she was the mastermind, hilarious. I sent the link to her company's HR, her firm's partners, her social circle, and her parents, who once said, "You're lucky she chose you." Within hours, the fallout began. Texts, voicemails, then news of her indefinite suspension from work. Her social media went silent. Her friend Mia left a voicemail. I can't believe she did this. I'm so sorry. Call me if you need to talk. I deleted it. Then came Lara's call from an unknown number. You think you've won? Her voice cracked, raw and weary. No, I said calmly. Winning would imply I wanted revenge. I didn't. I wanted peace. You just made sure I had to fight for it. I'll tell everyone you set me up, manipulated me, she spat. Go ahead, I replied. They've seen the video. Focus on your plea deal instead. Silence, then a click. The next day, headlines broke. Top executive linked to international fraud scheme, tied to notorious scammer. I powered off my phone, packed a bag, and boarded a flight to Iceland with a one-way ticket. As I passed security, my phone buzzed. Lara's text, you weren't predictable, you were terrifying. I smiled, boarded, and left her chaos behind, along with the empire I'd quietly rebuilt. Epilogue, 1 year later asterisk on a crisp October morning in Reykjavik. I stood on the balcony of my sleek cabin, overlooking snow-capped mountains and the serene waters of Thingvellir. The tranquility was profound, a peace I hadn't known in years. Life had transformed. I'd sold my U.S. consultancy shares and launched a discreet digital forensics firm in Iceland, operating through proxies. The Lighthouse Project wasn't about profit. It helped people blindsided by betrayal, those without the means to fight back. Lara, she was no longer the woman who strutted out with $400,000 in illusions. Her company fired her after the video surfaced. The media tore her apart. Victor, her lover, fled to Dubai but was caught, his forged documents leading to a 10-year sentence in Bahrain for fraud. Lara avoided prison with a plea deal, but restitution crushed her. She now worked part-time at a struggling gym in Nevada, her credit in ruins. Her final email, subjectless, read, "Do you ever miss us? I didn't open it. I didn't need to. I'd kept my integrity, stayed silent through the storm, and let the truth roar when the time came." Closing quote asterisk. In deception's game, truth casts the longest shadow. Stay vigilant, stay resilient, stay tuned.